guys, in this video I'm going to create an example I wrote in this post. There will be one front end, one back end, and one shared package in the Mono project, and I'm going to initialize the project using PNPM, and the example is going to be simple. And even though I wrote like step by step, it's still, like maybe a little bit hard to follow them. So I decided to make a video for this. And first of all, sorry for my English, and also while I'm working and speaking, while I'm working, I don't really speak well, but I'm gonna try my best. And I'm going to start from scratch. I'm gonna make a directory named Monorepo, and I'm going to create a front-end project using Vite. And first of all, I need to initialize the package here. Okay, and then PNPM create Vite and Frontend, and then choose React, and I'm gonna use TypeScript and with SWC option. And as you can see, we initialized our front-end project. Okay, and then I'm going to create a backend project using NestJS. First of all, you need to install NestJS CLI. And then nest new, then backend PNPM, okay, now we have backend project, but there's a node modules. We're gonna delete node modules, and then PNPM lock file, because it assumes that it is going to be one project, but we're gonna set up as a mono repository. And when I install like pm install, it's gonna install dependencies fitting with monorepo structure. And then shared, which is a package we're gonna share. Touch, sorry. PNPM init, make it package, and then to make it monorepo, Workspace, we need to make a file, which is, where is it? Here, PNPM Workspace. I'm gonna just copy this, and then PNPM Workspace, and then we have 3 projects, which is front end, and then back end, and then shared. 3 packages. That looks good. And then if we could comment PNPM install. it makes a PNPM log file. Then as you can see here, backend and front end shared. And in the backend, yeah, there is no package.log file because it's one project. And this manages all the dependencies like versions and stuff. And in the shared, we're gonna make types and values be shared between frontend and backend. Gonna make a types, and it's gonna be languages, and export type language, JavaScript, Go, C, I don't know, Java, and the const file, the same name, language.ts, and we're gonna use language type, default languages, and language is an array, JavaScript, Java, and then another array which is returned by our API endpoint, and this is gonna be a like default value in front end, the in state, like languages like use state default languages or something like that. Then let's see, I like both, so it's gonna be first element. Okay, cool. Okay, good. And then we're gonna add one API endpoint. Languages is gonna be get languages. We need a service function. Here it is going to use language, but we need to install, we need to add dependency first. So here, PNPM add package filter. We're gonna add in backend, and then in Workspace, the name of the package shared. And then here, in package.json, you can see shared package, but it's different because it's placed in the same workspace. Then here, we're gonna return default languages. LSP is not working. Yeah, it's packages right here, shared, const languages. Okay, that's good. Then here, languages, service. Okay, good. It imported this time. Okay, and then if we run the server, PNPM run filter backend start dev, then it throws an error because it cannot find module this, because backend doesn't include this value in the build setup. So we need to add like in the package.json to compiled, but we can solve it in another way. I'm gonna show you later. And in the front end, we are gonna test if it's worked fine or it has the same errors like backend. Here, going to make a state languages, then it's going to be default languages. I need to install the package first. Add data, frontend, workspace, shared. Package.json. Okay, it's installed successfully. Then here, default languages. Now I can share the SRC. SRC const languages. And then default languages. And then I'm gonna make an API call to allow the API endpoint. To allow the requests from a different domain. It needs to enable course. And to see if it uses default languages and uses another, to see if it's changed to other values, we're gonna make a delay like 3 seconds and fetch localhost. It will be 3000. And then languages, await sync data JSON. And we're gonna update the languages. This. And then in the UI, we're gonna just print languages. Then if we start the dev server, PNPM run front. Okay, for a test, let's import type as well. PNPM run filter, frontend, and dev. Okay, if we go to this file, okay, it imports the variable successfully. And if we build, then it throws an error. Let's see. Using a type only import when. So if we update this line to type like this, not here, type. Then it's working. Even though it's a front-end project and then it's another project, but it's complaining for another package because they are compiled in the same project, like front-end. The backend doesn't work because they are compiled. They follow the rule from backend. So what we are going to do is we're gonna compile the shared package. To compile TypeScript files, we need TypeScript package, PNPM run with the shared TypeScript, dev dependencies, and then we need TSUp to compile TypeScript easily. It's not run, it's add. Okay, and then we need a TypeScript tsconfig.json. So in shared folder, PNPM sys tsc and then init. Okay, and then here tsconfig.file. We're gonna use the minimum options. Target. We're going to use root. Okay, root directory SRC, and then we need declaration, but it's gonna override by TSUp, but we're gonna just make it true for here. And then out directory, it's gonna be dist, and I think this is it. And then type, okay, let's say, and TSUp config. Because backend uses CommonJS as a model system, and frontend uses a modern model system, so we need to compile to CJS and MJS, two files, and also we need description file. And then we can configure by ourselves to, like, we can create tsconfig for each, like, CommonJS and ESM. And then we also need to package.json, need to make two package.json files, because in the ESM we need this line to compile for ESM, but if we use TSUp, we don't need to we don't need to, like, create multiple configuration files. It's gonna do for us. But this configuration file, document docs. Okay, here. TSUp config.ts, TSUp config.ts, TSUp config.ts. And then entry is gonna be a multiple to create multiple entry points. So let's say if I add, like, we need index file. We make index file only because to support old model system. No, sorry. No. Const languages types. Type declaration. Okay. Okay, right. Yeah, we make this only because to support all the system, and then if it adds like this, multiple entries here, it's gonna be types, languages. Then we can import, like, for example, like in Frontend, we can import from shared const languages, like this. Splitting, we don't need it, so we don't need this, and we need DTS option. DTS is used to create the type description file. So we need this. And then there's one more, CJS, ESM. We need format, so we're gonna make CJS and then ESM files. ESM. The thing was format. Not here. Format. Let's see. TSR format config. Okay. Format. Yeah, I think we can use like this. Then the package.json. We need to change the main.ts. It's gonna be this in this folder. Index.js. And then types will be the TS, and then these files, which is the files or directories, will be imported as a package. But just good to write it, like, because this is gonna be the entry point for as a dependency. And then exports. The modern JavaScript uses this exports, and we need to add all the entry points. Import the first of all, let's build first. JSON, build script, it's gonna be TSR, then it's go, and then it will use our configuration file, PNPM, run, filter, shared, build. Okay, then the MVC, we don't specify the output folder. The output folder, just config out, out directory, it's gonna be this. Okay, let's test again. Failed. a relative path. Shared package. Nothing. Okay. Has a build script, but I had to build a script. PM shared. That's reason. Okay. Interesting. Maybe because of this. Test. And call test. Build scripts doesn't work. Just see. Test. It's gonna be test. Test. Somehow build doesn't work. Build to no build to script. What about like this? Okay, I think there is some here. There's something wrong. Character or something, I guess. So let's just remove it. Okay, if you go to this, there's an index file, and then common.js, and then the Monorepo and types, and then const. And then we're going to add exports dot import. When they use import, it is going to be this index.js, mjs. The require common.js is gonna be js, and then types. It's gonna be mts dot. We need two more. Const languages, const languages, const languages, const languages, and then we need one more. It's gonna be types. This need to remove the last comma, and then here we need comma like this. Okay, we built it in the backend. Now can use like this shared because it's common.js, so it's going to use index. This one, controller, update the path like this. So here, if you use like const languages, then you can't find it. And then in Frontend, not this one, it's gonna be a it's wrong. it should be shared const languages. Gonna find module. It should work. Language const types. Do I need to build once more? Yeah, there's some errors. Types here we never use the concept both. Okay, share arc here. Okay, let me see. Package.json exports. This one. What's that? Exports. Exports. Yeah, it's a simple way, but we need import. Yes, sub import. Okay, let's just export and sub paths. There's another dev to post. Good. Need types and default. Maybe we need to like up here, maybe pick up the order, but it's JSON. Let's just test it. Okay, it's not that. The object cannot contain keys that both start with. No, I'm sorry. It should be like this. Relative paths. Okay, cool. So here now we can use this. Should be able to use it. Okay, it doesn't get exports somehow. Okay, let me try again. Const languages, default languages. Cannot find model. Okay, I haven't changed anything. Shared, that's still the same. I tried to recompile several times, but it was still the same, and at some point it started to work. I think I don't know, maybe cache or something, but I didn't delete any files. I have no idea. So let's start the server, and then okay, let's start the server after build to see if this works well. Then start, filter, front end dev. Okay, there in the beginning, JavaScript and Java. And 3 seconds later, this update. Yeah, that's it. There was some problem, but I literally have no idea because I didn't change anything. I tried to copy and paste a little bit here, but the text is exactly the same. Yeah, but okay, here times. Yeah, and then this is it. There was yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's some. I also encountered many issues, and some issues were just gone somehow. Yeah, I don't know. I think, I mean cache, but it's not based on the time. Then how does it work? Or maybe I didn't save the files well. Yeah, anyway, the point is the configuration, the contents is the same as I showed you, and the error, what happened before, is not it doesn't matter with the content. I mean the content. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you found it helpful. Thank you.